Hello and welcome everybody. My name's David, Principal Coach at New View Safety Coach. So this will be video number 4. Yesterday went well. First day really where I felt like I've got a handle on the process of recording, the technology and the process of getting it off the devices and up to YouTube and a bit of post-production in there. So I'm feeling comfortable now with the actual filming side of, well, not me sitting in front of a camera, obviously that's still very strange, but the technology and the process around it. So I'm feeling a lot more confident about that. So I think with the practice, if I keep on practicing, I'll get better and better in front of the camera, which is a plus for you guys. But also, I think now I can start to invest some more of my time in post-production. And you'll see on video 3 from yesterday, I managed to use the application that I bought to do a little bit of post-production, so a bit of an intro, a few sound effects in the middle when I have a stammer sometimes, and I thought instead of getting rid of it, I would emphasize, well, not emphasize it, but just leave it in there, but just add a few funny noises just to, I don't know, just to make it fun, I suppose. I mean, it's part of me. I occasionally do it. There's no point in getting rid of it. Yeah, it's there. And then there was an outro as well, and they were relatively easy to do. There was a little bit of lighting improvement. Noise was fine. The system that I use automatically does some noise cancellation of fans or aircon or birds. I'm here in Australia, Perth, Australia, so there's a lot of wildlife around, and kookaburras can be quite noisy and such forth. So anyway, I'm waffling on 2 minutes already. I should make that a thing, shouldn't I? I should have like a waffling thing that flashes up whenever I realize that I'm waffling and go, oh, Dave's waffling again. So anyway, just to say, feeling more comfortable in the process of recording. Going to start focusing a little bit more now on post-production. Try and make it a little bit more interesting for people to watch, but I'm not going to get rid of any of my humanism, I think is a way of saying it. Any mistakes I make, unless they're huge mistakes, any quirks, like I said, any time that I might stammer or fumble over words, that's just me. No point in getting rid of it. Okay, so today, and I realize as well, I should have been putting the title of the blogs that I've been talking about in the description, because that will help me as well know which blogs I've already spoke about. But today, I want to, because I've mentioned a few times this concept of human organization performance, and I haven't really delved into it yet. So I thought I've got a blog, and the title is Embracing Curiosity, the Antidote to Blame for Hop. So I thought today might be a good day to actually look at this, because I've already mentioned Hop a few times in a few different blogs and posts on here on YouTube. And take a bit of time today, 12 minutes, to look at this blog post and maybe give a brief overview as to what Hop is, and maybe in the description I might put a few links to a few organizations where you can find further information, because I've gone through the verification process now with YouTube, so now I'm allowed to put links into the descriptions, which is great. So let's crack on with this then. We've got 11 minutes left. First paragraph again. In the realm of human and organizational performance, HOP, the concept of In the realm of human and organizational performance, the concept of blame has long been a deterrent to progress. It's a familiar scenario. Something goes wrong, and the immediate reaction is to find fault. Alongside Hop's second principle of blame fixes nothing, Sir John Whitmore, a prominent figure in coaching and performance improvement, offers a powerful antidote to the destructive cycle of blame: curiosity. Now, for those of you who are familiar with my website, you'll know that curiosity is a key theme of mine as well. And it's because it's such a powerful concept. We're not going to get into that in a moment. I want to quickly cover HOP. So HOP, human and organizational performance. It's actually been around for a long time in America. From memory, 19, 20 years in America, but it's becoming more global as a safety philosophy. It's not it's not it's not so much a framework. It's not so much a package you can implement into an organization. It's a philosophy, and the philosophy has got principles. Now, these aren't laws; they're principles, um, uh, and they're not to be taken on face value strictly. Um, Difficult to explain. Makes sense once if you don't already know about HOP. If you research into it and you start watching some great videos already on YouTube, I might put a few. Again, I might see about if I can put a few links to other YouTube videos in the description. But it's basically got 5 principles. Remember, these aren't laws; these are principles. People make mistakes. Is principle number 1. I'm not going to go into each one of these. I don't have the time. People make mistakes. Number 2, blame fixes nothing. Blame fixes nothing. Number 3, context and systems drive behavior. Number 4, learning is vital. Number 5, response matters. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go into each one of these principles one by one. That would take 5 videos in itself. I'm going to put some resources down in the description so you can go and have a look yourself. So why did I write this blog talking about the negative effects of blaming in the safety context and what human and organizational coaching can do for leaders at all levels of the organization in relation to safety performance? Okay, so there are known effects of when leaders blame when accidents happen. Organizational coaching provides a reflective space for leaders to begin to look at what blame does within the organization and why they may resort to or default to a blame mindset when things go wrong. It's also a way of, once the leader has realized themselves or it sees through the reflective process of organizational coaching what blame can do to them, how it makes them react, and potentially why they do it, they can see how that impact can resonate through the organization. Blame does a lot more than make people feel bad, make the other people feel bad. It feels good for the person doing the blaming in the moment. I can't remember who it was. I'm pretty bad with names. I can't remember who it was who said that blame is akin to wetting your pants. It feels good in the moment, but then you look like a fool afterwards. It's the same. It's quite a good analogy, because blame really is a selfish act. And I don't use that term carelessly. It is quite selfish. It can make you feel good as the accuser in the moment. You get rid of a lot of your anger, angst, anxiety, and you put that on somebody else, some other people. You are cathartically, I suppose, removing your negative emotion and attributing it to other people. So it can make you feel good in the moment. And especially if you have to report into somebody else to talk about the situation. It could be far easier for a leader to say, well, I told them not to do that a long time ago when they signed this piece of paper in this 50-page induction pack which they got 3 years ago, but they still did it. It's their fault. And then for their leader potentially to go, yeah, fair point. It's even got their signature there. They said they wouldn't do it. Well, they said they would do it this way, and they didn't do it that way. So you're right, it is their fault. End of story. However, what HOP and organizational coaching are attempting to do is to bypass that blame and go, okay, there's an emotional vent here. There is a little bit of feel-good factor in blaming somebody else. However, that blame is going to have detrimental effects throughout the organization and for any safety initiatives and safety culture and organizational culture as well, because culture, again, is a whole series of videos all in themselves, and there's a big debate whether there is such a thing as safety culture or whether it's safety climate, and how does that differ from organizational culture, and blah, blah, blah. Big topic. We're not going to get into it now. The point I'm trying to make is curiosity, both for the individual to look at how they operate, why they operate the way they do, how they think, why they think the way they do, what capabilities they have, what capabilities they don't have, and what options are available to them as an individual, even if they make mistakes. And it's the same for the organization. If it's true for the individual, it's likely true for the organization, because the organization is made up of individuals. If you don't like being blamed, why would anybody else like being blamed? And it's not the fact, this again, we're starting to get into the realm of blame and accountability here, which is a whole different ballpark. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the person may have done something they shouldn't have done. Fair enough. But the questions for the leaders should be why? What in the systems, or what in the context of the organization made it so that that person found that the easiest thing to do? Or what competing priorities are we placing on that person so that they're prepared to take that risk within the organization? Now, the person may still need to take accountability for what they did. But if you include them in the conversation, learn why they did what they did, and involve them in the solution, you're not getting rid of the problem. You're finding out what the problem is from the person who was part of the perceived problem, getting their help to rectify it, and keeping them in the organization so that the organization can learn. It can learn. And you only start that learning through having a curiosity. Curiosity is this key word. Curiosity for you as an individual, what options you have, why you behave the way you do. Curiosity for the organization, why the people within the organization behave the way they do. It all starts with curiosity and a humility. The humility to know that you don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. This gets back to a prior podcast where I was talking about deference to expertise. That takes a huge amount of humility for leaders, especially C-suite leaders, to be able to go, look, we need to be able to perform this operation, this process. And I've been in the industry for 30 years, so I know exactly how it's done. It takes a lot of humility for them to be able to go, I knew how to do it 30 years ago. It's a different context now. It's a different world now. Things have changed. Technology changes so quickly. We need to go to the people that I was 30 years ago and ask them how to do it properly. That takes a lot of humility. But we're getting off topic again. I'm waffling on. Let me just do a quick wrap up from my blog. It's only a couple of sentences. Hopefully that kind of ties this whole waffling session up. So John Whitmore's advocacy for curiosity as an antidote to blame strongly correlates with the principles of human and organizational performance. Embracing curiosity over blame fosters a culture of continuous learning, innovation, and improvement within organizations. By reframing the narrative surrounding mistakes and incidents, organizations can move away from a blame-centric approach and towards a more resilient and adaptive system that prioritizes understanding and progress. So I hope that tied it all up for you. As I said, these are only, I'm trying to keep these to 15 minutes, and we're at 16 minutes already. I could spend hours waffling on about these things, but I'm trying to keep it fairly succinct. Yeah, so hopefully getting more efficient at these, and hopefully they're looking and sounding a little bit better as well. But remember, this is the Don't Watch series, so don't watch. Thank you.